hard work, discipline, and precision. These traits are often associated with the German culture. In this episode, I get to know the German work ethic through some of the world's best-known machines and mechanisms, driving through southern Germany's most scenic roads that lead deep into its mysterious Black Forest. At the World Roadshow event at Clark Speedway in Pampanga, friends from Porsche and PGA Cars invited me for a day of high-performance driving.
Hey Chris, this is such a good idea, bringing all these guys here and bringing all these cars.
It's not every day that you get to see the full range of Porsche vehicles and get to drive them on a racetrack.
Yes.
So it's certified driving instructor, so we only get the best in instruction as well as fun.
I was introduced to my instructor that day. Bjoern took me to the roster of vehicles straight out of the manufacturing line.
Over here, my Macan Diesel.
Of course, the newest,
Very nice
latest.
car. Yeah, the newest member
Yes.
in the Porsche family. Yeah, here, the Macan Turbo, and I think we should get a ride now.
Okay, I would love that.
Okay, so here we go. So, let's hit the track.
Okay.
Oh, to make it a bit easier, to make it easier for them.
I don't think I can drive this fast. I'm used to only flying airplanes.
But that's a lot faster. You see all the cones and
curves very well.
Hopefully it is. And it handles for an SUV really more like a sports car.
Doesn't feel like an SUV to me.
The drive was absolutely thrilling and also very educational for me.
That was excellent.
Thank you. So next time you have to come to Leipzig where this beautiful car is built.
I would love to do that.
It's nearly as fast as an aircraft.
I know.
Spending summer in Germany felt like an exciting prospect, so I took up Bjorn's suggestion. With a chance to fly to Istanbul directly from Manila via Turkish Airlines, Leipzig was only one hop away. Leipzig is home to one of Porsche's biggest production lines. But aside from that, I quickly find that it is also a very walkable, pleasant old town. Leipzig was a trade city as far back as the Roman times. Enjoying great wealth, it became a center for culture, especially in the field of music, attracting some of the world's greatest composers, including the likes of Mendelssohn, Mozart, and Bach.
The great composer, Johann Bach, was once the choir master in this church.
The St. Thomas Church is also where the great composer was buried after the end of a prolific career. In the 19th century, Leipzig also became the arena for what was considered the biggest battle in Europe before World War I, between Napoleon's forces and the Allied coalition of Russia, Sweden, Austria, and Prussia.
This monument commemorates the defeat of Napoleon in the Battle of Leipzig, and it stands at the very spot where he surrendered after a bloody battle.
In more recent history, Leipzig also played an important role in ending the Cold War.
This is the St. Nicholas Church, where prayer meetings eventually ended up into political gatherings that helped topple the Berlin Wall.
Leipzig's oldest church became known the world over for attracting 70,000 peaceful protesters that influenced a wave of demonstrations all over Eastern Germany, changing the course of history. After soaking in Leipzig's history, seeing its quaint old buildings and walking its old streets, I was ready to pick up the pace a little bit and prepare for the next leg of my journey. With the Porsche Macan S, I plan to drive the scenic route down to southern Germany. Bjoern was back in Leipzig and was more than willing to give me a check ride on the Macan. This car never ceases to amaze.
And this, can you explain this descent thing for me?
Yeah, that's the Porsche hill control. So
Yeah.
a hill descent control. When the car goes over 12 degrees downhill,
Yeah.
the system is active and is braking for you.
He lets me experience the car's advanced traction management, where sensors constantly check driving conditions, enabling precise and quick response to situations such as a steep downhill descent.
It's more or less a sports car, which has the capabilities of an off-road car.
With Bjorn's careful instruction, I felt I was ready for Germany's roads. Up next, join us as we journey from the high-speed Autobahn to the scenic back roads of Germany, which lead to its mysterious Black Forest. From Leipzig, I went straight to the Autobahn to give me a head start on the long journey ahead.
One thing nice about driving in Germany is the Autobahn. And with the Porsche, it's like flying. 185 and I don't even feel it. 200. 210. If I had wings, I would be airborne. What a great car. And motorcycles. I wish I had my motorcycle here.
Speed seems to be the order of the day. With everyone overtaking me at 180, I can easily go past everyone if I wanted, with this car's maximum speed at 245. So I tried to catch up with everyone. This compact SUV is really packed with speed, power, and great handling. Perfect for the Autobahn. As I reached southwest, a more leisurely cruise was necessary to appreciate the German countryside. I reached the famous Black Forest, known for its dense woodland, which looked very dark from a distance.
And this is the B500. It's supposed to be a nice winding road for everyone to enjoy driving the car.
The B500 is a famously elevated road with sweeping sections above the thick forest, so I better make the most of this car's features.
And now it's time for me to put the sports mode and play around, more sensitive to the acceleration pedal, and gives you a more road-hugging experience.
I stop along the B500 and just appreciate the panoramic views this route is known for. Deep into the Black Forest, I finally reached the town of Triberg. I was ready to explore more of this charming little town, which is known for another famous German tradition.
The Black Forest region in Germany has long been associated with the making of cuckoo clocks. It's about time I learn more about this craft.
Although its specific origins can no longer be traced, the making of cuckoo clocks flourished in the region because of the abundance of wood. Add a dose of German precision in making mechanical movements, and you have a cultural icon that has lasted for centuries.
That means 1 minute.
Here, in one of the world's largest cuckoo clocks, you can appreciate a magnified view of the clock's mechanical movements, as well as the cuckoo bird that announces the time. I entered the house of 1,000 cuckoo clocks and was lucky enough to talk to one person who wasn't cuckoo like me. Its owner, Thomas.
So Thomas, I understand you're the 5th generation already working on these clocks.
They come all from the Black Forest, from an area 20 kilometers around here.
Yes.
And all our clocks, what you see here, they're still made 100% in the Black Forest. The mechanical
all
movement, handmade, the carving, everything is done by hand. Very traditional business here.
Okay. And what kind of wood is it?
That's lindenwood. Lindenwood is a kind of a very soft wood and shows very less branches, so it's very good to carve.
So what about the mechanism?
Here very well, that's still made of brass and steel, a mechanical movement which is made around the corner from a company called SBS.
So just in this town itself?
Yeah, in the thing itself. And yeah, mechanical movement.
Of course, I had to ask Thomas where exactly the cuckoo sound comes from.
So it's bellows. And you see how this works. The cuckoo sound is made with 2 sounds. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And that was about 300 years ago, very easy to duplicate a sound of a bird with the technology they had at this time. They picked out the bird. Cuckoo, even the cuckoo bird is not a local bird from the Black Forest. Yeah.
Oh, it's not a local
No,
bird?
it's not a local bird, but it was very easy to reproduce the sound with 2 bellows, like a church organ pipe.
Yes.
Yeah, with a short one and with a long one. You can make
And
those.
you just
sounds,
make
yeah.
it bigger or
Yeah,
smaller.
bigger or smaller. And that's how the cuckoo sound came.
Very ingenious, huh?
Yeah.
And of course, they have diversified to different shapes, modern colors. But the cuckooing is still there.
The Black Forest area's thick woods, green valleys, and old villages all felt very magical. In fact, this area inspired many fairy tales written by the Brothers Grimm. But there's one more thing that comes to my mind when I hear the words Black Forest. The cake, of course.
The cake is not named after the Black Forest mountain range. It is named after the specialty liquor that is found in this region. This is the ingredient that gives the cake the special flavor. Very good.
It was a delectable end to my exploration of the Black Forest. From here, I will hit the road again and visit a good friend whose family's legacy greatly influenced aviation history. That's up next. After experiencing Germany's Black Forest, I decided to get back on the road and see where it leads me. I've heard many good things about southeastern Germany, so that's where I'll head over. This area often referred to as Bavaria, is known for its resplendent countryside and rich traditions. Particularly, a love for food and drink. In fact, this is where the popular Oktoberfest started.
All that driving made me hungry, and there's nothing like an authentic Bavarian meal. Sausage. Very, very good. Sauerkraut. And, of course, the beer.
Another great thing about stopping through small towns is the discovery of beautiful walking trails. Not really tired from the drive, but I felt like resting from a heavy lunch, especially with a view as calm as this. Recharged, I went back on the road, this time to visit a typical Bavarian old town.
And I'm in the little town of Bad Tolls, where everybody seems so relaxed, even on a Monday afternoon.
The town enjoyed great wealth during the Roman times, being located along the Isar River, where salt and timber were transported. But the discovery of iodine-rich natural springs transformed the town into a spa destination. Bad Tolls, like other German towns, prefixed with the word bad, meaning spa, is a place of cure. Today, one can walk its 17th century Marktstraße, its enchanting main street. Paintings depicting biblical scenes and local events grace the facades of old buildings. This can easily be one of the most beautiful streets in all of Bavaria. From a short leisurely side trip, I head very close to the border of Germany and Switzerland. Friedrichshafen, a city along the northern part of Lake Constance, is a quiet lakeshore town, but actually played an important role in aviation history. Ferdinand von Zeppelin developed and manufactured his dirigibles here at the end of the 19th century. Today, you can still see some of these airships flying over the area on a daily basis. I was here to visit a good friend, Iren Dornier, whose grandfather was Claudius Dornier, a famous German airplane engineer who is also an important figure in aviation history.
Welcome to the Dornier Museum. How was your journey?
It was years of planning, but I'm here today.
Wonderful. I'm so glad to see you.
I was happy to finally tour the Dornier Museum, which has kept an extensive collection of aviation memorabilia.
So, Iren, this is your grandfather?
Yes, Joey, that's my grandfather, as you can see here. He was a key engineer for the Count Zeppelin, who built those large airships, of course. He was working under the Count Zeppelin, who then developed his own department for airplanes, which was initially just a small bureau. And the Count said, well, we cannot only build airships, we also have to go with airplanes, and that's basically what my grandfather did.
So, Iren, why seaplanes?
Because we were next to the lake. And at that time, there were no airports.
Exactly, yeah.
And what's interesting here, you could already see that the typical concept of Dornier airplane is always the high wing. He really believed in the high wing. That was, of course, clear because of the water.
And a push and pull.
Yes.
The push-pull concept, huh? So high wing, push-pull was the magic that he thought of at the time, huh? And this is the next stage, huh?
Yes. Here you can see the DOX with 12 engines. 6 push and 6 pull engine.
Wow.
Largest airplane in the world at that time, 1929.
1929.
The Dornier DOX was once the heaviest, largest, and most powerful flying boat in the world. Its 12-engine propulsion totaled 144 cylinders and 7,320 horsepower that a dedicated engineer was needed to control the throttles according to the pilot's instructions.
This was basically the 380 at that time. It was amazing. There was this association of engineers. They said impossible that this airplane would fly. But my grandfather proved them wrong.
It was designed to carry up to 70 passengers on long-haul flights, or 100 for short journeys, all with luxurious seating that can rival even today's first-class cabins.
Wow.
Amazing how comfortable this was laid out.
It's like a nice hotel, huh? Yeah, I would have loved to fly in this kind of airplanes, huh?
Absolutely.
I mean, it's something that you will never forget.
By the time dramatic events started to unfold on the world stage, Dornier engineers were at the forefront in aircraft building.
Okay, Joey, here you see the warplanes.
Okay.
Of course, my grandfather was obliged to build these airplanes as well.
Well, during those times, you have no other choice, huh?
Absolutely not. And they were beautiful airplanes. Actually, unfortunately, there was no more gas left when the production line was finished. So there were many airplanes built, but they couldn't fly because lack of fuel. Yes.
That time also saw the development of the fastest piston engine warfighter, the DO-335. Aside from its speed, it was also known for another aviation milestone.
A propeller in the back, and this airplane had the first ejection seat in the world, which Dornier, by the way, built.
Dornier's successful flying boats led to new models that served armed forces in Germany and around the world. After the war, aircraft production was prohibited in Germany, and Claude relocated to Spain and Switzerland, providing consultancy services before returning again to Germany in 1954. Those years saw the development of more aircraft, including the Alpha Jet, which became the standard NATO trainer in the 70s and 80s. Currently, the company is also involved in other fields like defense, satellites, and medical technology. This museum holds very important pieces of aviation history, and I'm glad Iren, like most Germans, is very proud of this heritage and continue to preserve this for the next generations. I was glad to get the chance to observe these machines and mechanisms up close. Shaped by their environment and crafted by a culture whose passion for excellence has changed the world. In the next part of this adventure, I go on an epic flying journey from Germany to Austria's beautiful Lake District and spent a weekend with flying legends.
This has been your captain, Joy Roa. See you in the next Asian Air Safari.